Good evening, and welcome to Creative Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities. Presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Dr. Ashley Little. A little bit about myself: corporate executive by day, serial entrepreneur by night, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, LLC, and founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLC. Tonight, we have an amazing special VIP guest by the name of Shamel McMillian. A little bit about her. Shar is the president and CEO of Shortown Entertainment, established in 1995, which is an entertainment and sports management company specializing in business strategy, public relations, marketing, and special events. Ms. McMillian recently released her first book, Just One Thing, forward written by comedian and actor Mike Epps. The book is a nonfiction account of several defining moments in her life, told from the standpoint of being at a crossroad, and just one thing unexpectedly changed everything. Highlighted in the book are Colin Powell, D.L. Hughley, and Paul Mooney. As McMillian is also the founder and executive director of 501c3 corporation CTE Vision Foundation, Inc., which is dedicated to educating, mentoring, and creating platforms for exceptionally talented kids who want to pursue careers in entertainment. Her board members and national ambassadors include Mike Epps, Tony Rogers, and Ernest Thomas. She is formerly the co-owner and vice president of marketing for the record label 410 Music, a company born from the management company which started the careers of multi-platinum music group Dru Hill. Ms. McMillian currently handles business management, PR, and marketing for numerous national music artists, playwrights, multi-platinum music producers, authors, and manages the careers of a few professional athletes, public figures, and entertainers. Shortown Entertainment has brought groundbreaking entertainment to venues nationwide for the past 20 years by developing success in artist management, marketing, advertising, special events, and promotions. For a client roster that has included Floyd Mayweather, Paul Mooney, D.L. Hughley, Mike Epps, Michael Carter, Joe Claire, Dick Gregory, Monique, Corey Holcomb, Tony Rock, Teddy Carpenter, Tommy Ford, Cheryl Underwood, Rodney Perry, Dash Poland, Mike Phillips, national bestselling authors Omar Tyree and Carl Weber, Radio 1, CBS Broadcasting, BET, Def Jam, BMG, Essence Festival, Hyatt Regency Hotels, and Fashion Comedy Style Tour in D.C., Atlanta, and Los Angeles as talent coordinator for the tour in conjunction with talent executive Tina Graham of Def Comedy Jam, to name a few. Shortown Entertainment has produced several major events, such as the Behind the Music Workshop, Comedy Exposure, Richmond Convention Center, and produce a multitude of comedy shows and events with over 150 of the top names in comedy and several release parties and events from various entertainment entities, major fundraising events, and concerts and tours. Welcome to the table, the amazing, legendary Shortown.
Hey, how are you?
I am great. I'm humbled to have you at the table. I know people have heard your amazing bio and just the amazing things that you have done with breaking glass ceilings on a daily basis. And so will you please tell us more about your journey?
I started, I guess this is my 26th year in entertainment, and I actually started by being a talent exec on some comedy shows, and I was chief executive officer for a major comedy club back in the day. And so it kind of happened unexpectedly, like my book, Just One Thing, How One Moment Can Change Your Life Forever. I literally was praying and asking God to move me into a different arena, to move me into a different space than being a professional engineer and working on logistics equipment. And so when I prayed, God told me he was going to take me out of engineering and move me into the entertainment industry. But I didn't know anything about entertainment. I didn't know anything about the entertainment industry. And I just trusted God. And I think I had been through so many things personally at a very, very young age, at like 22 years old, that I was ready to trust God no matter what. And so when I took that leap of faith and said, anyway, you bless me, I'm cool, I found myself, one, at a comedy club one night thinking I just wanted to have an executive interview. I was in an executive leadership program at the time. And I said, well, I'm going to interview people in this industry that God told me I'm about to be in. So that was my goal. And I ended up getting hired that night to be chief operating officer of the comedy club. And so it's in my book how that crazy night took place and what doors began to open shortly after that.
Oh, wow. Wow. It's just amazing, right? You just never know when you the pivot that's going to happen. And so,
yeah, I mean, I immediately met Colin Powell, D.L. Hughley, Bob Johnson at the height of BET, and Paul Mooney. And those four men began to mentor me. I didn't want, how like sometimes this new generation wants, the in, or they want to be put on, as they say it. I didn't want to be put on. I just wanted to understand the mindset of moguls. And I just wanted to be prepared for whatever God allowed me to have.
I love that. And so, Shora, why are you so passionate about the entertainment industry?
I think when I first started out with the comedians, I was passionate because I saw how poorly talent was treated, and so that bothered me. I believe in treating people where you want to be treated and to be just in how you deal. And I saw that they were being sometimes lied to, taken advantage of, promised money that they had no intention on paying them. And I really wanted to be a catalyst for change. That was really my passion, treating artists right. I didn't know what I would be doing in the industry, but I knew whatever I was given, I was going to do a good job. And I was going to treat them like not only their talent mattered, but they mattered as people. And I've maintained that for 26 years across all facets of the industry. So I think that's why I've never lost a client, and my relationships run so deep, in the industry.
I love that, because relationships are so important, right? Let's talk more about that, because I think a lot of people, like you said, definitely in this new day, miss that part, right, about serving and building relationships, because relationships are more than currency, right? You're so focused on the money, but you have to build those first. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, I always tell people always say, network, make the network. No, I don't have any networks. I have relationships. So when I call, they answer. And so that's different than having a stack of business cards or a whole bunch of random things in your phone. And when you call, you have to take 15 minutes explaining who you are, and they still don't know. That's a network. A relationship is, hey, Isha, what you need? They offer before you have a chance to even say why you're calling. What can I do? How can I help? Because you have a personal rapport with that person. They know you genuinely care about what's going on with them. And when you genuinely care about other people, they start to genuinely care about what happens with you. And that has been perpetual in my career. I remember, children's birthdays. I remember what happened with your mama. I remember when you were sick that time, and that's paramount for me. You know what I mean? It's not, oh, can you help me? Can you help me? I like to bear gifts, and since I've spent a career bearing gifts and trying to be a benefit to artists and give more than I expect in return, it's build relationships where they genuinely are concerned when something happens with me or how my mama's doing. You know what I mean? And so when you start to build new things, they want to be a part of it because they love you, not the business.
I love that. And those are some amazing nuggets that you just shared. I build relationships, not networks. I love that.
Yeah, so like with my book, people ask me, how'd you get Mike Epps to write the foreword for your book? He offered. We've been friends 25 years. He said, what are you working on? I said, nothing much. I said, I'm working on a book, and I'm starting a foundation. Well, what you need? What we doing? I was like, you don't have time to worry about what I'm doing. What you doing? What you need? I'm not going to say no. And so that's a relationship. And so I said, well, you can write the foreword. And so he said, all right, bet. What you need, though? I was like, that's it. I said, I'm working on that part. He said, well, let me know what you need. And so, and then when I came to him and said, I need my foreword. And so I just did a drive up, at a show, unannounced, just popped up. So I said, I need my foreword. And so he said, all right, we'll knock it out tonight. He said, well, let's also do some drops. That'll help you sell and market your book if I do some drops and stuff for you, and let me know when you need some more. That's a friend. I hadn't even thought about that. I put other authors out there. I put other clients, sports figures out there. I hadn't thought about marketing myself, And so that part was a game changer. Him even offering to do that. I didn't ask. And so then I said, when I started running to my other friends and clients and stuff, I said, you want to do a drop for my book? I was even scared to tell them I had a book. Once they found out, they were like, oh, we got to sell this tonight. And they would go on stage and start talking about my book. That's love. So it wasn't positioning and let me try to catch them when they come off stage. I didn't want to give them a copy. I was like, I got a book. You want to see it? I was so scared because I had never been in that position before. I'm always negotiating deals. I'm always pushing careers. I'd never released anything with my name on it.
Wow. I love that, man. Relationships are more than currency. I tell people this all the time.
Yeah.
So you are the president and CEO of Shartown. Please tell us more about your company and your services.
Okay, so at this stage in the game, I do more business consulting and marketing and large-scale events from tours to celebrity galas. I also work with the Children's Cancer Foundation. I've been a board member there for 25 years, so senior consultant on a lot of the entertainment stuff we do. So I'm the entertainment plug on the board. And so I also do, large-scale events and movie premieres. And like my client, Carl Weber, he's been a client since 2002. And so I released his third book, Baby Mama Drama, and I've been with him ever since, all the way through becoming a movie director. And so when he released his first movie, Man in 3D, starring Christian Keys and Lamont Rucker and several others, he called me to produce the movie premieres nationwide. And so, so I produce large-scale events as well, but do a lot of business consulting for entertainers, sports figures, music artists, producers, and multi-platinum producers. And so it kind of depends on the client, but really making sure that you make those visions become true. So my mantra for 26 years is making your vision a reality.
I love that. That's amazing. So make sure you all definitely reach out to her, and she has some amazing services, very experienced, been in the industry a long time, right, with real results.
Yes.
So definitely make sure you
yes,
all.
I do have some rising independent artists also. It's not just all celebrities. So if you're an author or you're a playwright or you're a producer, I still do consulting with, even indie clients, to help them, make their visions real, So we've even put out several independent authors and independent playwrights from concept to stage or from concept to page. And so we help them make it happen.
I love it. And so you have really worked with some major people in the industry. And I'm not even going to name half of them, but people such as Colin Powell, D.L. Hughley, Mike Epps, and many, many more. Tell us how you did it. Like a lot of people that even probably been in the industry as long as you probably haven't even had this type of, influence,
Yeah, all my relationships were organic. And I don't know if that's what people want to hear, but they really were. Like, I couldn't have planned out having over 3,500 direct numbers in my phone. Like, people always say, there's nobody you can't reach. You know everybody. But, it's been really just meeting one person at a time. Because when I first came into the industry, I knew no one. And I knew nothing about entertainment. But God said, this is where I'm positioning you. And so I believe that when God positions you and he gives you a vision, he's already made provisions for that to come to pass. And so I can't really, tell people, oh, this is step by step what you do, because your journey will never look like somebody else's. So your journey will never look like mine. My journey doesn't look like anybody else's I know. But the relationships happen organically. And so I remember where almost every relationship happened, like, yes, thousands of people. I remember the moment we met. And that's my God-given gift, to remember every interaction that I've ever had with someone. And so with Colin Powell, we met unexpectedly, and it's in my book. So pick up the book and find out how that happened. I also know Dr. Ben Carson for the last 20 years, and Candy, and I watched the boys grow up. And so, the relationships run deep. And so because I was on the board of directors for the Children's Cancer Foundation, that's how I met Dr. Carson. So we worked very closely, had lots of dinner meetings and dinner board meetings and stuff like that over the course of 20 years, and lots of galas. And so he's become he's been a dear friend, over the years. And so, yeah, that's kind of how I met some of my political people, and I met and had, broke bread with with Mike Bloomberg also when we established the Bloomberg Center at Johns Hopkins. So it happens organically, because I'm working in things that I'm passionate about. The Children's Cancer Foundation is major to me. So like I said, I've been on the board for 25 years, but I've been raising money for the last 30-something years. I raised my first $1,000 at 18 years old for the Children's Cancer Foundation. So once I got out of college and started making real money, I started writing real checks, and I started co-sponsoring the galas and things of that nature. So my company is the single largest small corporation benefactor to the in the history of the foundation. So I'm going neck to neck with like Coca-Cola and Giant Foods and large corporations. That's why I try to say, small corporation. But yeah, I would sponsor tables right along with them, and our tables are like $15,000-$20,000. You know what I mean? So.
Right. I love that, and thanks for sharing. How you did it, right? And it was really just building relationships, right? Building relationships,
but it's organic. Like people will tell you when I come to shows or when I'm at events, I never move. That's the thing. I'm at a vantage point. I could be up in VIP looking down on the stage, or I can be at the corner of the stage or wherever they have, seating appropriated for me. And I don't move the whole night. The people come to me. And so that's that magnetism I believe that God has created, where it happens so organically. It's been very rare that I introduce myself to anyone over the years. So it's a magnetism that God created. And so I don't know how to explain that. It's just God-given.
I love it. And so what is some advice you would give to listeners who are aspiring to grow in the entertainment industry?
I would say, why do you want to be in the entertainment industry expressly? Because I think a lot of times people think it's magical. They think it's not a real job. Like, even after 2.5 decades in this industry, there's some people who think I get to do for free what they pay to do, like hang out backstage. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand it's real work, that we don't sleep, that we travel and don't see our families for, months at a time sometimes. And they don't understand the dedication and the commitment and the sacrifice it takes to be in a non-traditional field. And they typically compare themselves to someone who has already made it. And like I said, your journey is never going to look like anybody else. So you can't say, I hope, I have Beyonce's fame. Beyonce already happened, so that's not going to happen twice. You hasn't happened yet. So you got to realize whether you're in the entertainment industry or in another profession, you are the blueprint for your own destiny. You're the blueprint. Your life has not happened yet. Your explosion has not happened yet. And so you really got to pay attention to your natural gifts and those God-given things that you do mindlessly, and more importantly, that people respond to mindlessly about you. The things that they appreciate about you that you take for granted, therein is your purpose. And so many times people are looking at other things and have these huge paths that they've seen someone else have for their lives. But no, it's the things that you do naturally, and that people respond to mindlessly about you. Wrapped in that is your purpose. It's always been extremely easy for me to inspire other people. My purpose is wrapped up in that. It's always been extremely easy for me to fix problems, to solve, make solutions, how to sell out, how to get your project out, how to maximize sales. That's been easy to me. But sometimes you ignore it, but then other people are like, I need your help, call her. And so my purpose was wrapped up in those things I mindlessly did, but they had meaning for other people.
Ooh.
And meaning turns into money.
That's good. Meaning turning.
You understand what I mean? So people pay for that which facilitates something for them, and that's all business is. You're facilitating. You're making something more easy for them. I make their dreams coming true more easy for them. I make producing a sold-out show more easy for them. I make negotiating a deal more easy for them. So So
Mm.
when you are facilitating a means, then that turns into money. Because people pay for convenience, really. They don't pay agents because they want to. They pay agents because they don't know how to negotiate a deal for themselves. So they're facilitating something. They're making something more easy for someone. They don't pay lawyers because they want to. They pay it because they can't fight their own case. So the lawyer facilitates your freedom for you, or you not being penalized. They facilitate something for you. So when someone is representing you or being a business advisor or even helping your concept become a reality, they are facilitating something for you, and that turns into money. That's your business base.
I love it. I love it. So let's talk about your book, Just One Thing, and how they can, tell us more about it, all the amazing things you've done with it, and how they can go purchase it.
My book, Just One Thing, talks about me being at a crossroad and looking back over my life and realizing that something has been in the motion all along, even though I didn't see it coming. I didn't see what my destiny was going to be. I didn't see what my purpose was going to be, but it was being orchestrated all along. And so I'm a firm believer that the universe is just waiting for you to get in line with the reason you were created. And then the world becomes your oyster. All kinds of opportunities begin to open up. And so people say, do I work hard? No, I work consistently, because what I do is not hard because I was born for it. This is the reason I was created. And so, no, working in the industry, negotiating deals, working with a lot of clients, building relationships, I was born to do this. This is the reason I was created. I'm in line with the universe. And so it opened up as soon as I got in line. Being an engineer was challenging because I wasn't built to do that. It was easy for me because, I graduated like number one in the state of Maryland, you know what I mean? And so I've always been an academician, but I wasn't created to be an engineer. I was created to re-engineer the entertainment world. But I was trying to do traditional engineering, so I wasn't in line with why I was created. And so as soon as I got in line and God positioned me in whatever arena I was supposed to be in, then the world opened up.
I love it. I love it. So make sure you all get this amazing book. It has sold out multiple times, right?
Yes, it has sold out multiple times. And, I think it's not a book about watch me win either. So it talks about the highs, the lows, the fears, the frustrations of totally stretching out on faith. It is super candid about those moments where I questioned, was I making the right move? Because anytime you're stretching out on faith, there's going to come a test or 2 or 100. And so there were times where I was tested before I fully accepted the calling God had on my life. And there were times where I thought I didn't have any money. I never say broke. I always tell people the most detrimental words you can say that will ever be said to you come from you, not from other people. The most detrimental words you will ever have said to you come from you. And so people are constantly putting doubt and negativity onto themselves. And so I realized that as long as I have the capacity to make money, I'm not broke. But it was a lesson in faith. It was a lesson in how much am I going to trust the path that God put me on. And as soon as I had the faith and resolved that any way you bless me, as soon as I relented, as soon as I surrendered all, as older people in church would say, that's when my breakthrough happened overnight. And I went from having no money to overflow overnight. And so the book chronicles that. And Rodney Perry, who also was in Coming to America, too, is a friend and been client a long time. He said, I would call it How to Pray. I would call your book How to Pray.
I love it. And you have a show. You have a show called Just One Thing as well.
Yes, I have a show called Just One Thing. So after my book sold out 3 times nationally, I said, how can I continue to be a blessing? It's still selling, so you can still go to Chartown.com and get signed copies. But I said, how can I continue to be a blessing? How can I make this perpetual? And I thought sharing other people's life-changing moments, life-defining moments, purpose-driven moments would inspire other people, because there are things in my book that it looks like it's not going to work out for me. And then it turns around. So like if she could get through that, if she could stand in faith, if she could stand in her belief, if she could trust the process, then I know I can too. And I think that's why the book has resonated so well with, and the irony is most of my fans have been men. So that is a testament to how easy the book is to read, how targeted it is in terms of the message. I don't believe in a lot of unnecessary prose. The people tell me there's well-told stories. It's stories people can relate to. It's stories people can see themselves in that position. And to me, that's a good story, you know, where it unfolds something within you. And so men from all over the country, white men, black men, agnostics, Muslims, they identify who they are, have written me letters about how much that book touched them. I mean, I get letters from women too, but the number of men that take the time to not only read the book but write letters is staggering.
That's good.
You know,
I
so
love
it's a blessing, I think. And people had asked me for a book for 25 years. And I said, no, since almost year one in the industry, when are you going to write a book? I was like, I'm not writing a book. And I said that for years. And it just kept coming. And people kept asking. And I decided to write a book to have some type of marketing when I started my 501c3 for exceptionally talented kids. I said, well, I'm going to be doing even more speaking engagements. I always tell my clients, if you're going to be on a platform, you need a book. But that's not what it became. It became something I never expected. Because when I tried to write it as a marketing tool, it wouldn't work. I had like 6 horrible pages. And then, like I've done my whole career, I prayed. I said, God, I need you to do just one thing, one more time. And I looked up 6 months later, and I had a book. Well, actually, it was like probably about 3 months later. It was that first 3 months where it was horrible. And 3 months later, I looked up, I had a book. And so it was like reading it for the first time when I went through it with my master editor. So I knew it came from a higher source than me. And I think that's why it resonates so well with people and touches them on a spiritual level, on a higher level, and makes them rethink their own lives and rethink their own steps and how they view themselves.
I love it. I love it. So make sure you all go support and purchase her amazing book and book her for your next event. So, Shar, you have created multiple tables for yourself and for others. So how did you create your seat at the table?
How did I create my seat at the table?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if I did create my seat. I've always just been myself. And I remember when I first started out, I didn't know anybody, right? So I'm in this comedy arena type thing, and I asked this comedian, this young woman, and I thought she was funny. She was just starting out. I said, it seems like everybody knows everybody. All the majors come and they're hugging, and it's like a family reunion. So you have people like Thea Vidal and D.L. Hughley and Don D.C. Curry, and this is 20-something years ago, coming in. And when they would come, all the comedians, like they had like this camaraderie, and it was like a family reunion. I was just on the outside looking in. And I was like, why does it seem like everybody knows everybody? I don't know anybody. She said, just keep being you. And she said, do what you do best, which I heard is contracts. She said, once you help one person change their lives, they're going to talk about you, and then you'll know everybody because your reputation will precede you. And so I just kept, doing good work, being good to people, and my reputation preceded me. So it went from 1 to 2 to 200 within a year or so, comedians I knew. And then one of my college big brothers, who had this group called 24 Karat Harmony, which later became Drew Hill, called me and said, I want you to partner with me. I'm about to launch a label, when I got like 15 artists signed to the management company, and I need your help. I'm like, my help? Because I didn't think I knew anything, but I learned to say yes to opportunities. And if God brought it to me, he had already made provisions for me to get through it successfully. And so I said yes, and I embraced it. I've learned everything well enough to teach. So when he asked me to come into the music industry, I learned the music industry backwards and forwards well enough to teach. And I've been adjunct professor at several universities and colleges about the business of entertainment, the business of music. And I've been on the Big Willie panels, they used to call it back in the 90s and early 2000s, talking about the business of music with some of the largest record execs in the industry. And so that's how well I learned it, where I knew I would carry a platform anytime I'm on stage. And so I say yes to opportunity. I see that as just another blessing, another area that God is going to allow my business to expand in. So be bold in your knowledge, but also be bold enough to seize opportunities and prepare yourself to be ready to say yes.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Thanks for sharing that. And so I think people see all the accolades, right, for people, and they don't never understand that everybody, well, some people don't understand that everybody has a process, right? Everybody has a process, and it's a price for success at the end of the day. And so what did failure teach you on your journey?
What did who now? I didn't hear what you said.
What did failure teach you on your journey?
Failure? I wouldn't say I've ever failed. And, I think that's a misnomer. But people are like, you have to fail to succeed. I've never failed. Even in school, I never failed. I think in my entire school career, I'm talking about elementary school included, I got 1 E, period. And it was on a test. And I brought that E home, and it became a concerted effort that never happened again between my parents. They were like, first of all, you didn't apply yourself. Second of all, I know you didn't study. And you thought it was going to be an easy class because it was beneath you. And the teacher came in a direction I didn't expect her to come. So after that, I never took anything for granted. I never went in half-stepping no matter what it is. And my father always instilled in me, if you can't do it well, don't do it at all. Take your hands off of it. So when it comes to clients, projects, negotiating deals, whatever it is, if I can't do my best, I'm not touching it. So I'm giving 1,000% or zero. I don't believe in just see what happens. And I think a lot of people don't care enough, don't have enough integrity to put their everything into what they do in their business, how they treat others. And that's always been my staple. So I don't think failure has to happen for success. I think that's something that people tell themselves so they don't feel badly about being ill-prepared.
I love that. And so what did success teach you, Shar? Because you're very successful.
I don't know if I say success, because my life is still evolving. I think that I've done a good job by a lot of people, and I'm thankful that people appreciate what I do. I'm thankful for the opportunities. I'm thankful that somehow my life or what I was created to do has been a blessing to others. So I think personal success is, one, how you feel about yourself. And two, I think success, as people put it, is just a byproduct of being unforgettable. So my thing is to leave a mark so that you never forget that we cross paths.
I love that because that's so important, right? Staying humble and just, get it done and doing the work. A lot of people miss that part, right? Doing the work.
Do the work, But yeah, people talk about success all the time. Success is not money. Success, and I always say that success is the byproduct of being unforgettable. That's what lends to your success. That's what lends to the callbacks. That's what lends to continuous the business. That's what lends to perpetuity in whatever industry you're in. You're unforgettable. They can't leave you out and have the project go the way it needs to go. So that's the goal. The goal is not that mirror thing or that, stereotypical thing of success. Just be unforgettable, and success is the byproduct of that.
So what can we expect from you the rest of 2021? We're getting ready to finish up the first quarter. We're in a new year, a new decade. What can we expect from you the rest of 2021?
Man, I've gotten creative during this pandemic. I just got off a 2-hour conversation with a client and convincing her to reinvent herself as well. But I started producing content, and so I started 2 new shows. I started It Is What It Is, How Men Think, about love, life, relationships, and everything in between. And it's really a reboot of a radio show I produced and created 10 years ago, but I rebooted as a Zoom show. So we've just completed 25 episodes of that, live stream episodes, and we've had everybody from Cisco to Raheem Devon and legendary George Wallace, Don D.C. Curry, Rodney Perry, to hear more social media sensations and multi-platinum producers like Herb Middleton, who produced Usher, and Mary J. Blige and Brownstone, and we've had Kendall Nesbitt, who has 50 platinum albums. So they come in, they talk about love, life, relationships. It's just guys going in as men. They leave the celebrity at the door, and we have a good time every Tuesday on Facebook Live, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm Chartown ENT on all platforms.
So make sure you all follow her and connect with her and book her. She's definitely somebody to know and connect with. So make sure you all follow Char, because she's amazing. And Char, thank you so much for making time to, come on the show. You're traveling right now, and you still make time to come on the show and talk about your amazing journey. And I cannot wait to invite you back to the table.
Oh, I would love to come back. And so, yeah, you all please check out the book. And so it has been life-changing for a lot of people. And if you're at a crossroads and you're trying to figure out how to connect with where you belong in the universe, it's an excellent read.
So make sure you go support the book, buy the book, book her. Okay, it has sold out multiple times. So we know this is an amazing read. And make sure you connect with her and follow her on all social media platforms. Thank you so much, Char.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ashley. I enjoyed it.
You are welcome. So I would like to give a special shout out to my intern, Sarah, who is a Tennessee State University alumni. And I would also like to give a special thanks to my intern, Vontaria, who is a student at Winston-Salem State University. You all may follow me on Facebook at Dr. Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.